Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, dodging the showers. Been a horrible week. Heavy showers, light showers, catch you out showers, and very warm in between. One of my giant moolies, or several of my giant moolies, have now gone to seed. But find a space and fill it. Bought the spring onions from the grow room and some lettuce. I'm going to plant the lettuce in the lampshades to stop the splashback and hopefully stop them from going to seed. So a little bit of pause and record for you, and then we'll get on to the potato reveals. Now this will help to keep the slugs out, unless they're already in, but we can tackle those that are trapped inside. It helps retain the moisture if we need to at the moment, and keeps them nice and warm. And any splashback, you don't get the splashback. So I'll get another 6 in, and that'll be another successional sowing done. That's another bed partially filled. So find a space, fill it. Those are the lettuce. I'll just give them a little bit of support in the trays. Those trays are when we buy the bedding plants. I always save them. Quite a few years old now, those are. And we can find space in the square foot gardening when I get rid of all the ones that have bolted. They'll make good compost. So these are the Charlottes. I can't remember whether they're a first or a second early now, but there's 2 seed potatoes in there. This is a good test for me, because if we've got some decent potatoes in there, I'll be pulling those haulms out, probably removing some of the grass clippings that we used, and then just stacking them away. I don't want them to get too big. A little bit of green on that one because it was very close to the surface. And that's quite dry, all this rain that we've had. I do like the Charlotte. I think I bought some really small potatoes from one of the shops. They're very cheap, but it isn't how big it is, it's how well you grow them. And these potatoes have been grown in my homemade compost. There's bits of plastic in it, all sorts of rubbish, but nothing else added. So we did mulch these with grass clippings just to try and keep the moisture in. But that's dry. Oh, there we go, look. The seed potatoes were only this big. Still firm, but we won't be keeping that. You can see how rough this mixture is. There's a different potato in there. That looks like it's a potato, a rogue one, volunteer. I normally just squish them like that. Go away, Mr. Wasp. Yeah, this compost really rough as anything, but the potatoes do a cracking job in helping with the composting process. And that'll be cracking stuff to use on top of the beds or in the pots when I put the strawberry runners in. Right, next ones will be the Pentland Javelin. So that's a nice little return from 2 potatoes. Probably that size. That's why we always try and collect every little potato, because everyone's a bonus, of course. Especially those small ones. Nice salad potatoes. So Pentland Javelin, sowing on the 23rd of the 4th of April. I say sown, planted, and I'll pull the horns out to reveal some nice potatoes. Looks like all my Swift, my Pentland Javelins and Charlottes, I'm going to be pulling all the tops out to stop them growing. This is what I like to see. If we get some big ones, it's a bonus. Again, compost a little bit wetter. I've been watering every time I'm up here, which is almost every night, missing the occasion, but when it rains you think, I'll be alright, I ain't going to get wet, just to water the plants. But I thought these were well wet, but they're not, so it's a good way of just revealing them and just having a look. There was 4 seeds in here, so we should get a better return, but it does seem as if you actually water regular, you do get a better crop. Without the moisture, they can't grow. Again, I think these were like the small seeds, so there's 4 of those in this bucket. It's been a while since I've had Pentland Javelin, so it'll be nice to try those. I'll just have a search through, but the main part of tonight's video was to because I'm part of the Adopt-A-Tata challenge from Jason and Colleen at Clive's Conundrums Garden, and my potatoes need support, so I've got to do a task, and one of the tasks is to give some of the food to somebody, and of course my elderly parents really do appreciate a bit of fresh food. I give them a surprise every Wednesday. Have a fertile through that as he gets his wet, horrible gloves off, because the storm wet everything in the shed, including all my gloves, including the secret raffle ones. Sorry guys, you're going to end up with wet gloves if you select them. Did a good job, didn't find any more. That's a nice return from 4 seed potatoes about that size or smaller. And I say normally, my Swift had a bit of scab on them, but what I normally do is add log ashes to the mix, and that I used to put it in the ground as well. That deterred, stopped the wireworm and scab. Don't know how, but good quality log ashes have done it for me in the past. I've been lucky with those. I hope you're picking up the colour on there, but they do look nice potatoes. I'll be saving a few of each of these for seed at home, just in case my other pots don't turn out as well. Don't always eat them all, always save a few. Gardening on a budget. I think my parents would love a lettuce, and so would Mrs. K. Some really nice pongo beans from Bill and Val. Some nice carrots. I'm reluctant, but yes, Mum, Dad, you can have some of my spring onions, because it's the first time I've been able to grow them, and probably the last few of the pongos, I think they may have just had a bit too much rain. And I spy, with my little eye, that's a nice size for the lunchbox. If you ain't careful, you miss them. Which one shall we have, and which one shall me Mum and Dad have? Oh, okay, Colleen, you can have the big one. So we've got some nice pongos, some sugar snaps, and the red ones as well. Excellent colour to the plate. And I use these zippy bags to store the food in, especially in the fridge. It stops them going all limp and horrible. So just remember that one. It's just starting to rain, so I'm going to have to move you back into the shed. Some really nice Chantenay carrots, 2 rows out of those boxes. What else did we say we was going to pinch? Oh, sorry, harvest. 3 lots of bunching spring onions. And we've got a couple of nice little red iceberg there. A little bit of slug damage, unfortunately, so I think I'll go back to using the lampshades. And if you know anybody that orders wool and it comes in these little netted bags, it's ideal. Especially these bags are ideal as well, putting over your onions and stuff to collecting seed. That'll do for now. I'll just double check. Not forgetting the lunchbox size courgettes, the zucchinis. And to finish it off, a nice little bit of fruit from the fruit cage. The raspberries on the left are outside, summer fruit in, the ones on the right are in the cage, summer fruit in. If you've never had white currants before, I highly recommend you find somebody, get a cutting or get some cuttings, stick them in the ground, and you'll be very pleased with those. The gooseberries are coming good. And my mother's not always keen on the gooseberries, but I said, oh, it'll put hairs on your chest, but my memories of 61 years back, I think she's probably got enough. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.